Alright guys, so here we are for F1 2015 career mode once again. This is round number 5 here for the Spanish Grand Prix, and as you can see, it's raining once again. I can't believe the amount of rain affected sessions we've had this season alone. Every time I think we come to a good racetrack, we get rain, so we're going to have to wait and see what happens with this one. The two Mercedes cars locking out the front row after qualifying. They did a fantastic job to beat the two Ferraris into the front row of the grid. Us though, we put in some really good laps into qualifying, and I've got to say we put in a lot more emphasis into practice and just building up our speed as we went through the weekend, and I definitely felt like that helped me because right off the bat in qualifying I was actually really quick, setting two 124.5s, just trying to shave as much time as I could. And as you can see here, going through the third sector on our final qualifying lap here, still it's not even that perfect, and still we come across the line and we improve by 0.2. So at the end of the session, despite all the improvements we got, I don't think it was enough to move up any grid positions, simply because the two Ferraris and the two Mercedes, they're pretty much untouchable, at least what it seemed like in that session. Particularly the Ferrari, they seem to be very quick this season. They've won a lot more races than what they probably should have based on the real life 2015 form. As you can see, 3 stops on intermediate tyres here, but we're getting ready for the start of the Spanish Grand Prix, and away we go. We seem to get up to good launches in the wet, and once again that has delivered ever so slightly. No, we drop a position to Daniel Ricciardo now as we blaze into turn 1. We're going 3 wide here, just about in between the two Red Bulls. Into turn 1 goes Ricciardo up the inside. He gains a position on Kimi Räikkönen there, so very good for Ricciardo there to gain a position despite having a straight line speed deficit. But us though, looks like, I don't know, the tyres are overheating. I could feel it like straight away. I felt like something wasn't quite feeling right, and already the intermediates overheating on lap 1. So that's very, very alarming getting into, the rest of this stint. Spain is definitely one of those tyre degradation style tracks where it's going to really take a toll on the tyres. So we'll need to look after that front left tyre in particular, going through turn 3, and then I think going through turns 12 or 13, through the third sector as you go uphill, the long right-hander there. So we'll need to look after those front tyres, especially the left-hand side. But anyway, lap 5, we can see we're catching up to the back of Ricciardo. So it seems like either tyre wear is affecting him, or maybe the track is drying out and now it's starting to favour us a little bit, but we'll have to wait and see. Trying to hold it around the outside of Ricciardo. If he can just lose a little bit more momentum, we might have had a shot at him. But lap 8 now, we're coming in for an undercut. We're coming onto the intermediate tyres once again. I feel like it's still another 10 to 15 minutes away before we switch on to dry tyres, so I may as well come in for the undercut and try and gain some time on the leaders, because they're only just a few seconds up the road. But I couldn't get in front of Ricciardo. I wasn't feeling like our race was getting anywhere, so I thought this was probably the best option to do, and we rejoin in pretty much clear air there. So lap 8 now, you can see the tyres are stone cold, and I thought that was actually pretty weird, because normally when you put on a new set of wet tyres or intermediate tyres, they're normally up to temperature straight away. I thought you could use tyre blankets for those. But anyway, lap 9 we can see some of the back runners, the midfield runners, making their first stop. I believe the leaders still have stayed out for another few laps, so they're waiting out to see what happens with the weather. So the leaders definitely not feeling like taking any risks today, and we can see, just checking the race director just to make sure that no one switched on to intermediate, or to dry tyres rather, because I felt like even this new set was starting to overheat a little bit. So I don't know, at this stage I was starting to doubt myself a little bit. Maybe I made the wrong choice. Should I have stayed out on the older set of intermediate tyres, because this set isn't actually getting me anywhere. I put on this new set of intermediate tyres and I actually didn't get faster. I was still lapping at the same speed as what the leaders were on their old set of tyres. So I was really starting to get nervous here, but finally, lap 11, we can see the leaders have all come in, and I believe they're going on to another set of intermediate tyres. So this has saved us. The undercut, I don't know, more or less has worked. We've jumped Ricciardo, and there is Rosberg right in front of us there. So this is for effective P3, so a shot on the podium here, if we can get in front of Nico Rosberg here. Vettel is in P2, and Hamilton still leads this race as usual. So if we want to get on the podium, we need to get up the inside of Rosberg now while his tyres are still Okay, we got him. While his tyres are still cold there, I just had to pause there. I thought we might have made contact. We did, but at the second phase of the corner. Going around the outside of Rosberg now. I think we've got him into P3. Job done, but Rosberg comes back at us, makes contact, and he's gone in the gravel trap. He's collided with us on the 12th lap of the Spanish Grand Prix. What? Oh, Rosberg, what are you doing? You didn't need to take that kind of risk, especially since his car was so much faster. But as you can see on the replay, I don't know. Did he turn in on us, or did we squeeze him out too much? As you can see from the replays, it's, I don't know, it's a pretty line ball. Let me know in the comments, who do you think is at fault for this? We slow it right down, and at this point here, Rosberg turns in on us too much, so that's what's caused the contact, and that's what's left Rosberg sitting in the gravel trap after that incident. I don't know, that's a bit of a racing incident. I was moving over to the left, Rosberg was moving to the right, and so we just both met in the middle there, so I don't know. If I had my time again, I probably would have left Rosberg a bit more space, but now we rejoin in the action, and Ricciardo has moved into effective P3, and Raikkonen wants to get involved in the battle too. I didn't know we jumped him as well in the pit stop phases, but he's there right behind us. Lap 13 now, you can see we're still trying to chase down Ricciardo, but unfortunately it looks like he possibly has the pace over us in this race so far, but we're still trying to do the best job we can, trying to keep Raikkonen behind us now as we're thinking about our next set of tyres, going on to a set of prime tyres. Interesting decision only halfway through this race. Raikkonen trying to hold it around the outside through the left-hander in the hairpin, but he can't quite get the move done. He's trying to keep Nico Rosberg behind him as well, so this is turning very interesting here, this little battle here. We throw up the hand in frustration because Raikkonen must have grazed our side pod there as he went past, and now Rosberg has sneaked up the inside there and into P5, but I believe Rosberg stopped in early, or Raikkonen got it. No, Raikkonen got back in front of him, so lap 16 now, Raikkonen trying to go around the inside of us. That doesn't make sense. Either way, it doesn't matter. We still hang on to P4 for the moment. So try and hang it out on these intermediate tyres at the moment. It's proving to be very tough. The temperatures are really starting to escalate in these intermediates, especially through these long right-handers. I'm just trying to hang on for dear life, not only in terms of grip, but in terms of position as well. Looking up the inside front tyre, Raikkonen sneaks up the inside, and I believe Rosberg, no, he hasn't. So I thought Rosberg was going to pass us for sure there, and I was just conceding the position, but no, Rosberg was a little bit further back than what I anticipated, but now he soars past us anyway. So the grip at the moment, it's not ideal. I need to come in ASAP for a new set of tyres. It's too early to come in for a set of dry tyres just yet, so we're coming in on the very next lap, lap 18. So it's still very early for a set of dry tyres, but I just couldn't stay out any longer on my current set of intermediates. I did something like 10, 11 laps on the previous set, so any longer and I think I might have been looking at a puncture there. So a little bit unfortunate. Now you can see on the dry tyres, they're just not getting up to temperature at all. Just losing the back end like crazy here. You can see, again, just getting up on the curb, grazing the wall there, and losing a position to Alonso. But crucially, we didn't lose any damage there, so that was the main thing. But at this stage, just trying to recover as much tyre temperature as I can, just trying to almost weave on the straights here. I think we'll start doing that now, just to build temperature. Even if it loses a little bit of lap time, as soon as we can get temperature in these tyres, then we'll really start to reel in the guys on intermediate tyres. So that's what I'm trying to do. I've already committed to this strategy. I can't back out of this now, otherwise we're going to lose so much time. But now lap 20, we can see there's a yellow flag. That's because there's a Sauber stuck in the middle of the racetrack. A Red Bull has just retired as well. So some serious crap has gone down in the middle sector here of this Grand Prix. We follow on board with Marcus Ericsson. He's the trailing Sauber. He crashes into his teammate in the middle of the racetrack during a yellow flag caution. And Jensen Button is the innocent bystander there. He just follows through and loses his front wing. I've got to say, Marcus Ericsson, after smashing into his teammate, he didn't lose any of his wing. Alonso smacks into Kvyat, I believe it is. But watch this. Kvyat's left front tyre explodes after contact on the right-hand side of the car. Good job, Codemasters. Nice impact damage engine. It couldn't be any better. But as you can see from the third-person view, that's Alonso crashing into Kvyat. That crash is just hilarious. And then you can see the Sabres collecting each other, and then obviously Jensen rounding out the back of that crash. So we gained, what, 4 or 5 positions out of that, despite being on dry tyres. I believe some of those guys are probably charged onto the back of us if they don't have any damage. But lap 23 now, we can see a few of the leaders came in for their stint on dry tyres. I'm not too sure if they're on dry tyres or if they went to intermediates. It'd be awfully foolish if they went to intermediates again. But now, lap 24 on the back of Massa. He's getting held up by Alonso, who's already lost a lap. Alonso was in the top 10 after or before that crash, but now he's getting lapped by us and Massa. So, the battle now ensues between us and Massa. Now he's got very cold, dry tyres at the moment. He's on the option set as well. So we need to get in front of him as soon as we can. He's gonna, as soon as the track dries out, I believe Massa will be very quick because he's got much fresher, much newer tyres than what we've got. We got the inside into the final chicane and into P5. Next up is Nico Rosberg. I'm not too sure how far up the road he's going to be, but I'd imagine we lost about 10 seconds due to being on the wrong tyre at the wrong time, basically. So, anyway, Massa passes us with the help of DRS on the start-finish straight. That's fairly standard. We're running with 9.2 wings or something like that. So, as soon as you have a Mercedes-powered car behind you, they're just going to soar past you with DRS. But now we're trying to hold it around the outside through turn 3. This is getting very interesting here. We fake to the inside, go back to the outside as he's getting held up by Perez. So this is working into our favour massively here. Just Massa can't get around the lap car, and we're going to go up the inside into the left-hander. But I'd imagine we don't quite have the traction to get around him, making contact there, losing the back end as well in the process. But still, Massa can't get around Sergio Perez, who is in 14th place at the moment. This is just extraordinary. It's keeping us in the battle here. We go up the inside through turn 9. Once again, this is the exact same maneuver we're trying to pull as the last lap. It's 3 wide once again into the hairpin. We go up the middle, and this time we're in a better position, but we still lose the back end. Don't quite have the traction that Massa does at the moment, but I don't know, it's going to be awfully tough now that Massa has clear air. We need to get the inside into these next 2 corners, or maybe just wait for DRS this time. That's probably where we made our mistake on the previous lap. We should have waited for DRS and then overtaken Massa. So that's what we're going to do this time. Put it up in a fast, use the DRS and a bit of slipstream to sneak past Felipe Massa. Look at he actually got a really good exit off the final corner, and after that, I never saw Massa again. So that was very disappointing. Will Stevens has beached it in the wall there on lap 26. Very interesting there. Valtteri Bottas right behind us in P7 at the moment, but look at our tyres, orange at the moment. I'm diving in for a new set of tyres. I don't think my current set of options will make it to the very end. I really don't think they will. I've been on them for quite a few laps now, and I just feel like, I don't know, I think we're better off coming into the pits, putting on a set of option tyres, because you never know, the other cars might come in 3 or 4 laps time as well. You just never know. You can see a few drops of rain there, dropping from the pit lane there, but that doesn't matter. We come on to lap 29 now, setting a few fastest laps in the process. As you can see here, this is a brand new set of option tyres I've put on, and already, just look at the fluctuation of the tyre temperatures. It's unbelievable. I don't know if it was just related to my car in particular, or if it was a setup related issue, but I was just struggling for tyre temperatures all day in this race, whether it be the tyres not getting up to temperature at all, or once I had the right tyres on, the temperatures would just skyrocket. But that's the end of this race. We've ended up in P7. We didn't lose out any positions after coming in for the extra stop, so that was actually not too bad. 7th place, 6 points. I'll take that. So at the end of the race, Sebastian Vettel has won in what has been a Ferrari 1-2. Nico Rosberg in 3rd. I believe Lewis Hamilton retired with only a few laps to go in the Grand Prix. I forgot to say that in the commentary, but we did pass him on the racetrack somewhere. I wasn't able to get the replay cameras up to see what happened to him, but yeah, that was quite interesting that Hamilton has retired from the Grand Prix. So it keeps this championship fight pretty interesting because Vettel now leads. He is 15 points clear of Nico Rosberg. Hamilton dropped down to 3rd, or maintains 3rd place. Call me crazy, I still think we can win this championship despite being in a much slower Toro Rosso. We've got some really good tracks coming up like Monaco, Canada. I believe we can do well at Silverstone as well, so you never know with Rosberg, he tends to bottle it a little bit. Hamilton is down the order, and if Ferrari can continue to take points off Mercedes, then you never know. It could be anyone's championship this year, so very much looking forward to the next couple of rounds. Monaco, as I said, hopefully we can win at that racetrack. Get our first win for Max Verstappen in his rookie season in F1. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, leave a like on this video if you enjoyed, and until the next race, the Monaco Grand Prix, I'll see you guys next time.